Hi, my name is Bear, and let's start with Death in the Water 2. I've been eyeballing this game for a long time now. It looks like a very nice shooter game set in an original underwater environment. Here you will dodge and carve your way through swarms of terrifying sea creatures, controlled by a vicious, giant, mind-controlling kraken that haunts your every move. You will scavenge for hidden treasure to unlock weapons and upgrades, but the environment of this game will make sure that every dive reveals a new nightmare. As you investigate ruins, wrecks and reefs, the tension escalates. The marine life mirrors real behavior, with sharks and creatures remaining passive unless provoked. So don't splash the water and don't pretend to be a seal. Honestly, this advice is legit not only in this game, but also in real life, except if you are attending a gathering of people who pretend to be seals, which is a very popular thing in Estonia, for example. I'm not joking. So the game features a campaign, also survival and free roam modes. People on Steam are saying that this game is very detailed and is suitable for almost every first-person shooter horror fan. The only bad thing is, if you get motion sickness easily, then avoid. The Flame in the Flood. This is a roguelike river journey through the backwaters of a forgotten post-apocalyptic America, where you can forage, craft and occasionally evade predators. Well, the last part will be harder to do. I was eaten by a wolf countless times here. So basically you will take the role of a delicious snack with no desire to be tasted. Just be sure that you are into roguelike games, that you have stable mental health, and few deaths here and there will not make you rage quit and uninstall. The Flame in the Flood was created by famous developers who previously worked on BioShock, Halo, Penis Doctor Simulator and Guitar Hero. Well, honestly, I'm not sure about that third one, but other games are definitely legit. So here you'll travel by foot and by raft down a procedurally generated river as you scrounge for resources, craft tools, remedies, evade the vicious wildlife, and most importantly, stay ahead of coming rains. You know, flood is even in the name of the game. Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened. If you like Sherlock Holmes and Lovecraftian stuff, this may be your spoon of potato salad. Here you become Sherlock Holmes and find yourself at the heart of terrifying Cthulhu mythos as you investigate a series of mysterious disappearances in Europe and the United States. Those are apparently linked to a dark cult that worships an ancient god. Whatever their plan is, you must put a stop to it, or, face unspeakable consequences. Yeah, all that sounds nice, but can I join the cult? Can I worship the ancient god as well? What if Sherlock decided that his life of investigations is boring and being a servant for a Dagon himself is a more fulfilling experience? I doubt that, but it would be nice if you could actually choose the unexpected way. Atom RPG Trudograd. Or as I call it, Soviet Fallout Union. Because it is basically a Fallout game, just here instead of a wanderer you will be called Comrade-a-lot. You will be thrown into alternative history. In 1986 the Soviet Union and the Western Bloc were destroyed in mutual nuclear bombings, and you are one of the survivors of the nuclear holocaust. Your mission is to explore the wild and wondrous world of the Soviet wasteland. Because, you can get wasted here in so many meanings. For example, once I just ran into a minefield and died. I just ignored some danger mine signs and went to communist paradise with angry people standing in long lines to buy some doctor's sausage made from cardboard, perestroika everywhere, and Belomorka null cigarettes. Or maybe to communist hell full of capitalist money, sex and supermarkets. Anyway, here you will stream for the better communist tomorrow, and along with that you will have to investigate stuff, various stuff, a lot of stuff. Trudograd is the second part of Atom RPG, but it's completely standalone piece. You don't need to know anything from the first part. And to be honest, I like Trudograd way more than the first part, so I'm recommending it instead. Also keep in mind that this is not a Russian game. You can buy it and you won't be supporting Putin in any way. That is great. Cyberpunk 2077. Everyone knows the game, but just a few of us know the real state of it. Is it finally a good game? And the answer is yes. It's not perfect, we didn't get the actual Mass Effect, Skyrim, GTA 5 hybrid with the best traits of every game, but now Cyberpunk 2077 is in a great state. The simplest proof of that is a recent review score. Rated by thousands of people, it is hovering around 90%. So basically 9 out of 10 people who bought the game these days are really happy with what they get. The game itself, if you somehow don't know that, is an an open-world RPG first-person shooter. Honestly, it is a bit dumb combination. You know, how your experience in battle can influence the strength of your bullets. The more you play, the more powerful your weapons get. You know, they are the same weapon, so it makes no sense that your experience in battle makes a bullet explode within a wider radius or something. But hey, it's a game, not a real world, so I probably should shut up about that. So Cyberpunk 2077 itself is like futuristic GTA 5 combined with any AAA kind of shooter and littered with RPG elements. The campaign is great, you can buy it without any regrets just for the campaign alone. The annoying thing, at least for me, was that you can't fly here. That takes a lot of fun away from a GTA-like game. Evil West. This is some sweet hack-and-slash action. You will play as a cowboy vampire hunter and, you know, hunt some evil along your way to salvation. Well, probably not. No salvation for you. I just said that because it sounds cool. You can battle alone or with a friend as you go through the land engulfed by myths and legends retold within the Wild West universe. You can evolve perks, upgrade your tools and weapons to make even more carnage, and fight through the story-driven campaign to make America free of vampires again. People on Steam are saying that the game is dumb and fun. It has a cheesy plot and cowboys punching vampires with electricity and flamethrowers. That is not what you see every day. What is the actual genre of that? Spiritfarer. This is a cozy management game about dying. Here you will take on the role of a titleless Spiritfarer, Tavern Master of the deceased. Build a boat to explore the world, then befriend and care for spirits before finally releasing them into the afterlife. Farm, mine, fish, harvest, cook and craft your way across mystic seas. Or join the adventure as Daffodil the cat in 2-player cooperative play. Yeah, you can play it with your mother-in-law and bond like never before. The game guarantees relaxing quality time with your spirit passengers where you create long-lasting memories and, ultimately, learn to say goodbye to your cherished friends. A wholesome experience with an overwhelmingly positive review score. Also, you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free. Blasphemous. This game is a true work of art. I don't think that any of you will argue with me about that. Art-wise, this is one of the best examples of Metroidvania and Souls genre collision. Interesting thing is that the major influence of Blasphemous' story and design was the religious art of the city of Seville in Spain, and also works of famous Spanish painters, especially Francisco Goya and his 200-year-old painting called A Procession of Flagellants, or Flagellants, I have no idea how to say it. If you want some nightmares before bed, just Google Goya's paintings. They are as great as they are creepy. People on Steam are saying that the game has incredible dynamic music and amazing voice acting. Also, some dudes are seriously stating that Blasphemous was a gateway drug to a 2D indie platformer games from AAA Souls-likes, so it can really expand your horizons, but mostly here you will just die and die again. Shadow Tactics: Aiko's Choice. The game is a standalone expansion of the Shadow Tactics franchise, meaning that you are not required to have the main game to play it, and that Aiko's Choice is a full game with no strings attached. It is set in Japan around the early Edo period. Aiko's Choice is a stealth strategy where the main protagonist is a master of camouflage and distracts enemies disguised as a geisha. But it's not the only character you will be able to control. An agile ninja, mighty samurai, young thief, wise marksman and perverted penis doctor joins your course as well. Well, maybe not the latter, but you never know who is gonna jump to your aid unexpectedly. Graveyard Keeper. Here you can make candles from human fat, burn witches, and even sell mystery meat to the local tavern. Well, you and I, we both know that this is human flesh from corpses, but nobody else has to know, right? That is not a question, by the way. You know, you wouldn't want to visit a local tavern as a special guest. You know, I like you. Anyway, Graveyard Keeper is the most accurate medieval cemetery management sim of all time, because obviously there are no other medieval cemetery management games. You will build and manage your own graveyard and expand into other ventures while finding shortcuts to cut the costs. Use all the resources you can find. After all, this game is about the spirit of capitalism and doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business. If you have guts, try this game. If not, you can always harvest some from a fresh dead body. Dead Cells. Overwhelmingly positive reviews should lock your attention even if you don't like pixel art graphics, and this game can stand strong behind the name of the style. It's true art. The game is really beautiful, just like you, my friend, but graphics are just one side of the coin. People on Steam are saying that this roguelite Metroidvania is probably the best game of the genre. Along with the graphics, you will get great music and gameplay more addictive than potato salad. People are also joking that here using the machete and pistol weapon is the closest thing we'll ever get to Bloodborne Bloodborne on PC. And speaking about platforms, it should be an amazing experience on Steam Deck. You can also acquire it on Switch, but we all know that Nintendo is not very fond of discounts, so the Steam version it is.
A Little Nightmares.
This is one of the best side-scrolling games I have ever played. Its dark and vicious atmosphere, strange creatures and grotesque world kept my attention for many hours. You'll help the protagonist to escape the maw, a vast, mysterious vessel inhabited by scary corrupted souls looking for their next meal. Not as scary as pineapple in the potato salad, but still kinda terrifying. As you progress on your journey, you explore the most disturbing dollhouse playground full of secrets to discover. You'll reconnect with your inner child to unleash your imagination and find the way out. Creepy vibes guaranteed. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. This is an adventure with unique gameplay that blends investigation, action and exploration. It will test the limits of your nerves and intelligence. Yeah, this game is not for the faint of heart. The puzzles can be devilishly difficult, and the plot is full of twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end. You will have to track down evil in the darkest corners of London while playing as the great detective and untangle a web of intrigue leading to the final stunning revelation about the evil that lurks in the city. Is it real evil, or is it just Scooby-Doo level evil? I don't know. Well, I do, but this is not a channel of spoilers. This is a channel of games and potato salad, approved by your sister. Jotun Valhalla Edition. This is a hand-drawn action exploration game set in Norse mythology. Here you play as Thora, a Viking warrior who died an inglorious death and must prove herself to the gods to enter Valhalla. Well, I can name at least two better Hallas I would want to enter instead. A Game Halla and, of course, Boob Halla. Anyway, aside from the boss battles, the game revolves around exploration and puzzle solving, with a few enemies to fight. Although it isn't very surprising that puzzles often are solved by using X-wings to interact with objects. Very Viking-y. People on Steam are talking that this is a beautiful and deceptively difficult game, and the art and music lull you into a false sense of security and comfort, and then jumps on you with a full force. This is a really nice game, especially for this price. Hotline Miami. A game where you shoot things while listening to amazing music. What could be better? Well, probably a lot of things, but let's not dive into our fantasies about a bowl of refreshing potato salad or, you know, things that we cannot afford. But you know what is the thing almost everyone can afford? Come on, don't say anything about my sister. I mean, everyone can afford this game, or to become my supporter on Patreon, or here on YouTube. Alright, I know, that was a nice try. Anyway, Hotline Miami wouldn't be this good if not for the music. The atmosphere it creates along with the carnage on the screen is the best kind of symbiosis I have ever seen. Although be ready to press R to restart over and over again. So keep in mind that it is hard, harder than you can imagine.
That's what she said.
Tavern Master. This is a medieval tavern management game where you are in charge of building, maintaining and running your very own cozy tavern. Buy tables and benches, fill barrels with drinks, hire staff and serve your first customers. You will have to make sure your employees are happy, there are enough drinks and seats for guests, and soon you will be able to expand your business in various ways. For example, you can hire musicians to attract more people to your tavern and make customers have more patience while waiting for a drink. Honestly, I never thought about that. Basically, if you want to get your drinks faster, avoid live music. Anyway, here you can also hold special events to attract special customers who have very specific food and drink requirements. They will come in the morning and stay all day, and they could stay all night as well if you create rooms with beds in your tavern. Every room will be rated with stars from 1 to 5, which will determine how much money you can earn from the guests. So my advice is to keep them cockroaches free and with complimentary potato salad snacks. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!